Thank you for inviting me. I know it was difficult today because the amount of request and one had to really cut time. But when I read about your college, I instantly agreed. And I love to talk to young generation because I feel very young. Though I've retired, but my second innings has started. And in second innings, one is fearless. Even in first innings, I was fearless, but second innings, I'm more fearless because now, you can only give back to the society. So in my second innings, my mantra is, my second innings is for your first innings. So I've dedicated, I'm not looking for any job in government sector, deputation, or, head an institution because I have a PhD, I have MPhil, I have enough credentials to, pick up the step. But I decided no. Now is the time to give back to the young. And I have this passion to educate the young people, to mentor you. मैं एक्चुअली रहबर हूँ. अगर रहबर का सही मतलब आप निकाल सकते हो, जो आपको गाइड करे, जो आपको कोच करे, जो आपको रास्ता दिखाए. बाकी मर्जी आपकी है. Because you are young people, I don't believe in too much of micromanagement. We can only guide you and show you a path. And rest all is as Robert Frost, my favorite poet, he says the woods are lovely, dark and deep. I have many promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep. And miles to go before I sleep. This is one of my favorite poems. And I was a poet in school. I was backbencher in class, but I used to write, I used to read. And I spent a lot of my time in boarding school, in Rashtriya Military School, Bangalore, on the sports ground, where I was into boxing, athletics, hockey, football, cricket, any game, played at a reasonably good level, all games. And in the library, where I was lucky to have read, about the freedom struggle, read, Mahatma Gandhi, read Jawaharlal Nehru, read Freedom at Midnight, and read, Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, read Tagore, read Sadat Hasan Manto, Sahir Ludhianvi, read Bulle Shah, read Nanak. You name a person, Vivekanand. So I was quite inspired. Munshi Premchand was one of my guiding factors, in life, showed up what social dynamics of a country have been. So somehow my personality was shaped by these two factors. One is the sports ground, where I rubbed shoulders, played a lot of games, broke bones, but never took a beating, always wanted to win. And second was, of course, the school library. So those two things defined my life, and my coming into the army was also, of course, a wonderful career I had, really. Represented the country twice, 3 times, 4 times up, went abroad. Here also, motivated and inspired a generation of young soldiers and officers. Now coming to the topic that you have given me, that is revisit Kargil. Now, so much of on Kargil has been written, books have been written, movies have been made. There's a movie coming on Vikram Batra. And last few days on my YouTube channel, which I'm sure you'll subscribe once you hear me, there have been 5-6 episodes only with Vikram Batra's brother, with the parents of Vijayan Thapa, with parents of Anuj Nayyar, and many other, with the daughter of Major Acharya, Mahavir Chakra. So I've been trying to bring these stories back for the young generation to get inspired. Now, Kargil, in brief, it was one of the greatest deceit and treachery in modern history. Greatest. Because in February 99, our much-loved Prime Minister, Mr. Vajpayee, was on a bus journey to Lahore. He went with open arms and wanted to have peace and friendship and, between the two nations who share the same DNA, same language, same food, same movies we like. We love the same songs. We love the same actors, same cricket, hockey. And then why are we such enemies? So he went with all the Indian celebrities. I vividly remember I was a very senior company commander in the 99 war. I was no longer a young greenhorn. I had almost 15 years of service by then, about to command a unit. So I saw this happening and we thought, okay, now peace will prevail. Because no one wants peace more than a soldier. Because people sitting in TV studios and political parties, they all want war. Because they never will go, neither their families will go, neither their children will ever join the forces. They want war. But those who are in the war for generations in the army, in the armed forces, we don't want war because it brings a catastrophe. It brings sadness which can never ever be filled, those gaps. So there was this, but at the same time, under Musharraf, they launched an operation called Op Badr to occupy the heights of Kargil and Dras region. Kargil, you should know. I don't know how many of you read about Kargil. It is on the National Highway 1 Alpha across the Zozila Pass. It is a district of Ladakh region, Ladakh UT now, Union Territory. It's almost 95% Muslims, Shia Muslims, but. And in the valley, you have Sunni Muslims. And you cross the valley, across the Zozila Pass is the Kargil district. The war is because of the name of Kargil district. It's not that it was fought in Kargil. It was fought in Dras. It was fought in Mashko. It was fought in Batalik. It was fought in Turtuk. Those are the places where the wars were fought, not in Kargil proper. But it's called the Kargil War because the town of Kargil is there. Now, so the normal principle or the understanding between the two armies was that we withdraw our soldiers in winters to our winter posture, which is much deeper, where they can be maintained. Because it's inhuman to sit on those desolate heights in temperatures ranging to -30, -40. Dras, I don't know how many of you know, is the second coldest inhabited place in the world. Recorded temperature is -49 in winters in Dras town. So Dras बहुत ठंडी जगह है. And when the war took place in the summer of 99, the days were pleasant, but nights were frigid. The temperatures where our brave soldiers fought were -11 to -16 at heights of 16,000 to 18,000 feet. No other army in the world has fought at these heights. So they had come and occupied our post, and initially we were oblivious. It's a typical Indian trait. We can talk of it in the question answer session, why it's like that. And they came and occupied our post, and initially we had no idea. It was in May when a shepherd in Batalik, not Dras Kargil, a shepherd in Batalik, he came and reported to the army camp कि सर मैंने कुछ लोग पजामे कुर्ते में देखे हैं ऊपर. मैं जब अपनी भेड़ बकरी चराने गया था तो पजामा कुर्ता तो वहां कोई पहनता ही नहीं है. तो and उन पहाड़ियों पे, so it raised some hackles. We sent some patrols, and many of them got captured. Saurabh Kalia, who got brutalized. His body was brutalized by the Pakistanis, handed over later, along with the soldiers. That somehow was a shocker for us, and we realized what we are into. Then more surveillance was done, and we realized Pakistan has come into 160 kilometer frontage. 160 kilometer frontage, occupied more than 130 posts of ours, and entire winter they spent there. Puri sardi wo wahin the. They built up their logistics. They built up prefab shelters. They had anti-aircraft guns. They had heavy machine guns. They had light machine guns. They had rocket launchers, and they had artillery observation officers all along who could hit us in the Dras town. The road was under artillery fire from Pakistan. So you can imagine. Musharraf's game plan was that this will be a shocker. It was a shocker. And we will say jihadis have done it. It is the militants, the terrorists, and these are tanzeems, lashkar and all. हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते हैं. ये तो हमारे हाथ में है नहीं. जनाब अब क्या करें? तो and he says they thought that India will come to its knees. Indian army is already tired. They feel in valley. So here we will cut off Ladakh. We will take revenge for Siachen Glacier. Sorry, this was one of the aims, because we captured Siachen Glacier in a proactive manner, and वो कभी भूल नहीं सकते. They have tried their best. Now they have given up. They can never ever come back to glacier, capture the ridgeline from us. They've never. मर गए हजारों लोग. 1100 we have lost. तो आप सोचो कितने पाकिस्तानी मरे हैं सियाचिन के. So isolate Siachen Glacier, isolate Kargil, thinking it's a Muslim district. ये तो हमारे हो जाएंगे. Or Kashmir में, then we will send in more militants, and finally we may be able to liberate or annex the Kashmir region. Sorry, and we will bring the Indian army to a grinding halt. But they did not wargame our resolve. They did not wargame our grit, our determination, or our national prestige and pride. So by the time the situation became clear, ये मई के end तक situation clear होगी कहाँ पे है, and the firing started. When we were getting We didn't have troops in Kargil at that time because to fight the war. They were there holding positions wherever they were. So we had to get troops from other areas. We had to get guns from other areas. So that time it took 15-20 days to muster our resources, get the political leadership to say, yes, go ahead, and the military to plan an operation of this magnitude. It's a huge logistics challenge. Huge. Because troops can't fight here if they are not acclimatized. Ladakh is different. Agar aap Ladakh nahi gaye ho, to you miss something in life. I urge all of you to go for a solo trip this summer, next summer. Just go, boys and girls, go. Jaise marzi chale jao. Go and visit Ladakh. 10-12 din ghum ke aao. Go solo and go and see this amazing part of our country. Amazing. One of the most beautiful. I've done 2 tenures there. I was a commanding officer. Then as a general officer, I've served there in Ladakh. So this is how situation was. And we came to know that Pakistan has sent in its SSG, the Special Services Group, equivalent to our Para-SF. They have the Northern Light Infantry, like our Ladakh Scouts, 5 to 7 battalions. And of course, with jihadis and all that also mixed with them, some of them. And then the entire game plan became, evident of what Musharraf has done. And Mian Nawaz Sharif, the Prime Minister, was left high and dry. So then the battle started. Initially, it was very tough going. Very, very tough going. Because these are difficult. Nobody fights. Log rehte nahi wahan, ladai kyun karenge aap socho? In jagahon pe. But, and we had to really, hats off to young people of India. It's a war fought by young people, not by senior leadership. It was fought by young people. People with 6 months service. Vijay Thapar, ये आपके शिवाजी कॉलेज का लड़का है, आपकी तरह ही है. It's just like you and me. I'm also from college. Not here. I did college in Punjab. So, 6 months service. Veer Chakra. Vikram Batra, 2-year service. Captain Hanifuddin, Shivaji College ka hai aapke. He had 2-year service. Lieutenant Kangaroos, 1.5-year service. Major Acharya, maybe 6-year service from Odisha. So, Jabardast. Every action was led by officers. And Indian Army has a unique distinction. Many of you don't know. We have the highest officer to Jawan kill ratio in wars or even counterinsurgency. So many young officers, you hear stories from Valley. Last year we lost a commanding officer, Ashutosh Sharma. There's a video of mine on Ashutosh discussing with his brother. He was from my regiment. I knew him very well. I knew him personally. So it hurt me also to lose a colonel in close combat. So Indian Army produces amazing leadership. We don't fear our life when we are leading our troops. So then the war started. Tololing was very, very difficult. We lost 4 officers of 2 Rajanif to capture Tololing. और Tololing सामने नजर आता है द्रास वॉर मेमोरियल से. ठीक है, मैं कहता हूँ मंदिर मस्जिद छोड़ो, वहां जाके आओ. Tell your parents that आप लोग कर लो ये भक्ति, हमें वहां जाने दो. Let's go and see the Dras War Memorial. So you go and see Tololing. You see Tiger Hill. It is on top of that place. 4875, 5140. All these places जो movies में discuss होता है, जो जिनके ऊपर books लिखी गई हैं. All that is there in that area because that area is accessible to the journalist. So it became the Kargil War. While very, very tough war was fought in Batalik and in Mashko and in Turtuk. Turtuk is where young Captain Hanifuddin from 11 Rajputana Rifles, he went with 3 or 4 people just to survey and capture a small post, but he got killed there and we couldn't recover his body, And the chief called up his mother. And Hanif had lost his father when he was 8-year-old. So father नहीं थे घर में, mother थी. तो mother को call किया कि मैम आपके बेटे के ना हम उसको दफन करने के लिए लाश को कैसे लेके आए वहां से. She says कोई बात नहीं. I've lost a son, but I don't want Mother India to lose another son. ये इथॉस हैं इंडिया के और इंडियन मदर्स के. ठीक है. So I'm purposely giving you these examples because you can identify. These are ordinary young men from ordinary families doing extraordinary job, extraordinary leadership. So you all have it in you. If you soul search yourself, if you develop those qualities in you, you all have it in you. So then, of course, I don't want to go into detailed history, but geographically very, very bad area to fight, but we fought like hell. It was difficult going because ridge lines hai, not more than 5 to 10 people can attack a post, but our guns did an amazing job. Bofor's gun, and I have seen guns fire. जब गन्स फायर करती है ना, बोफोर्स एक बैटरी फायर करती है, धरती हिलती है, एक्चुअली धरती हिलती है. और अगर एक रेजिमेंट फायर करे 18 गन की तो अर्थक्वेक आता है. यहाँ पे 200 गन्स फायर कर रही थी, 200 बोफोर्स गन. उनके जो बैरल्स है ना वो जल गए, बैरल्स जल गए उनके. वो लोहा जो है उनका इतना फायरिंग किया उन्होंने डायरेक्ट रोल के अंदर, उड़ा के रख दिया हमने पाकिस्तानियों के होश. इनको पता नहीं था ये क्या है. They never knew our resolve. This was the biggest miscalculation by Musharraf and his team of officers. And then, of course, that India acted very well, led by a great Prime Minister, great Chief General Malik. The Air Force came in. They launched Operation Safed Sagar. Air Force to high altitude, but they had never fired. And we lost squadron leader Ajay Ahuja in the war. Nachiketa had to be ejected, and he was captured by Pakistan. He had to be got back during the war. And the Navy, did a maneuver from the sea. Not many people talk of Navy, but Navy choked the Karachi harbor and the Makran coast and told Pakistan, this is sea denial. You can't enter these areas now. No ship will be allowed to move here. So there was a pressure from the sea, because economically, if you can strangle a country, you're gone, you will lose. So there was a psychological dislocation of Pakistan achieved. While our soldiers were doing hand-to-hand combat here, the Air Force was hitting them from the top. Our guns were firing and taking pot shots at them. The Navy had done the economic blockade of the Karachi harbor and that. So this is how the political leadership, the military leadership, the diplomatic, we had isolated Pakistan in the world. So Mia Nawaz Sharif was called to Washington DC. Our Prime Minister refused to go. He was called to the White House and told, you tell your army to withdraw now, otherwise India will open up another front. And the world was worried. Why the world was worried? Because 1 year back, we had become declared nuclear power. In fact, my PhD is in nuclear strategy. I've done PhD from Osmania University in nuclear strategy and doctrine. So and Pakistan had replied. So both of us were nuclear powered states. So the world didn't want this to escalate out of this sector of Ladakh, Western Ladakh, and get into Jammu and those areas. We were ready. We are fully ready. Tanks loaded to march into Pakistan from all across the Western Front, from Jammu and Kashmir to Punjab to Rajasthan. We were ready, fully ready. हमें सिर्फ हुक्म की देर थी. 6 घंटे में तैयार थे सब. All of us were ready to get into Pakistan. But better sense prevailed. It was isolated theater, sector, not even theater, a sector. We put in everything that we had, and finally we started getting victories after victories, and then we broke the back of the Pakistan army. They did not even collect their dead. वो ले नहीं पाए. हमने बरी किया बहुत से डेड को. The videos available YouTube पे of we getting a Maulvi on top कि यार इनको we are soldiers and a soldier must respect another soldier. So what is if he's of an enemy country? So that is how we are remembering the 22 years of the Kargil War. It is very fresh, at least in my memory, because I was a senior company commander and I've seen it all. A lot of friends I lost in the war, close friends whom I knew. I know the units that took part. That is one part. ये यंग जनरेशन से अगर मैं बात कर रहा हूँ आज शाम को 4:30 बजे, तो मैसेज क्या है? मेरा मैसेज मेरे बच्चों ये है कि ये देश ना ये इस तिरंगे के लिए लड़े ये बच्चे. This young 18 years old to 25 years old, they didn't sacrifice their life for any religion or political ideology. They sacrificed their life for this flag that is always there in my study. This must inspire you more than the temples and churches and gurdwaras and mosques. No, India needs to redefine our constitution and our obligation to as a nation. What are we? What is our idea of India? हम क्या हैं? हमारी हस्ती हिंदुस्तान की है. ये जिस दिन आप समझ जाओगे. But what I see today, it pains me, especially what goes on in social media. And पढ़े लिखे लोग, मतलब मैं जो बेचारे खेतों में काम कर रहे हैं वो तो वैसे ही कर रहे हैं काम. उनको कोई परवाह नहीं है. वो तो पहले भी नहीं पूजा पाठ में थे कहीं। मैं किसान का बेटा हूं तो मुझे पता है, हमारे हमारे कोई, हम कभी गए नहीं, हमें पता ही नहीं चीजों का, पाखंडों का। बट अब नाउ देयर इज अ डेलिबरेट अटेम्प्ट टू आइसोलेट वन सेगमेंट ऑफ आवर सोसाइटी थ्रू व्हाट्सएप। IITians ने स्टडी करी है हेट थ्रू व्हाट्सएप, प्लीज रीड इट। I'll send it PDF file to you, और या गूगल सर्च कर लो हेट थ्रू व्हाट्सएप। इट्स अफेक्टिंग, चेंजिंग द परसेप्शन ऑफ पीपल। ठीक है, डोंट फॉलो इलेक्टेड रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स, दीज पीपल आर इलेक्टेड रिप्रेजेंटेटिव। ये लीडर नहीं है, लीडर हम हैं। ठीक है, लीडर ये है जो इसको बिलीव करते हैं। सो प्लीज डोंट आइडलाइज दिस इडियट्स, दे आर देयर टू डिवाइड दिस नेशन बिकॉज ऑफ नैरो प्रिज्म ऑफ पावर पॉलिटिक्स, एंड आई सी दिस हैपनिंग एट अ वेरी रैपिड पेस। यू नो, दिल्ली, यू हैड राइट्स इन दिल्ली यार, बड़ी शर्म की बात है हमारे लिए, हमारे देश के लिए। 21वीं सदी का भारत बनना चाहता है सुपर पावर, दिल्ली में आप लोगों के घर जला रहे थे यार, हैं? मतलब हम शादी नहीं कर, बच्चे आपके यंग बच्चे प्यार नहीं कर सकते किसी से, ये भी एक रेस्ट्रिक्शन है आज। खाना नहीं खा सकते आप जो चाहोगे। हम अच्छे थे यार, हमें परवाह नहीं थी इन चीजों की, हम स्कूल में थे, कॉलेज में थे, हमने कभी नहीं परवाह करी। इसलिए मैं तो बहुत जल्दी, यू नो, आई हैव अ फुल कलेक्शन ऑफ विवेकानंद हियर, आई एम अ ग्रेट सन ऑफ इंडिया। I have the Quran here. I have books on all religions here, which sometimes I refer because I'm an atheist. I don't believe in any religious ideology because against my country. It is directly attacks the Constitution of India. If you know, and I speak to young people like this. कोई और नहीं बात करेगा आपसे, कोई कहेगा भी नहीं। हमने ये आइडिया दिया, इंडिया ने, इंडियन आर्मी ने सर्वधर्म स्थल, हमने सारे भगवानों के कमरे में बंद कर दिया। हमारी यूनिटों में, हमारे मंदिरों में हमने उनको सर्वधर्म स्थल क्रिएट कर दिया। और अगर पंडित जी छुट्टी पे जाते हैं और महाशिवरात्रि आ गई तो मौलवी जी प्रिसाइड करते हैं। और मैं पाकिस्तानियों के साथ भी नौकरी करी है, मैं यूएन में, और मैं 1 साल बांग्लादेश में भी रहा हूं, जहां सबके सब मुस्लिम ऑफिसर्स थे। जब मैंने फोटो दिखाई और उनको बताया ना इंडियन आर्मी के क्या इथॉस है, उनके रोंगटे खड़े हो गए। मैंने कहा, वी हैव नो रिलीजन, वी अडॉप्ट रिलीजन ऑफ द ट्रुप्स वी कमांड। सो इफ आई वाज कमांडिंग अ सिख यूनिट, आई वुड बिकम अ सिख। पगड़ी रखे पहनेंगे, दाढ़ी बढ़ाएंगे, कड़ा पहनेंगे और गुरबानी सुनेंगे। इफ आई कमांड अ ट्रुप कंपनी ऑफ मुस्लिम सोल्जर्स, आई विल कीप रोजा। मेरा आर्टिकल आप पढ़ लो जरा, मोर देन 1 million people have read my article. It came in scroll पिछले महीने रमजान के टाइम। हाउ रोजास चेंज माई लाइफ। जब मैं कश्मीर में था, मैंने रोजा रखा है। मैंने कुरान शरीफ का अध्ययन किया, क्या प्रॉब्लम है? हमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, बिकॉज नेगेटिविटी नहीं है ना यार, नेगेटिविटी नहीं है। हम तो व्हाट्सएप, फेसबुक और घरों में जो हमारे घृणा भरी हुई है ना, ये हमारी सोसाइटी के अंदर, एक ये ऐसे है, ये लोग ऐसे हैं, टाइप कास्ट, एंड दिस डजंट स्टॉप एनीवेयर। एंड आपकी जनरेशन, मैं आपकी आईडीज देखता हूँ इंस्टा पे, मुझे हजारों बच्चे फॉलो करते हैं, दे अटेंड माय लाइव सेशन, और नाम के आगे डैश राजपूत, डैश जाट, डैश ब्राह्मण, गाड़ी के ऊपर, स्कूटर के ऊपर, बाइक के ऊपर। अरे कहाँ जाओगे? भिंडरावाला की फोटो लगी है, जाट के पीछे हुक्का। जाट्स आर बॉक्सर्स यार, अरे कुश्ती करते हैं देश में। सबसे ज्यादा हाईएस्ट क्या कहते हैं एथलीट्स हरियाणा के, नॉट जाट्स, हरियाणा के। तो हमारी आइडेंटिटी कब से वो होगी? राजपूत में मूछे। अरे नॉनसेंस, गेट आउट ऑफ इट। इवन इफ पेरेंट्स आर देयर, टेल देम थैंक यू। काटा लगा दो इन चीजों पे, ठीक है? ये बात कोई नहीं कहेगा बच्चों आपसे, बट फॉर मी इट्स अ मिशन, फॉर मी इट्स अ मिशन। सो दिस इज वन पार्ट, रिमूव दिस from your, because if India has to survive, the idea of India, it will not survive in the temples of India, it will survive in the hearts. If each Indian feels, 99 में कौन थे यार ये मरने वाले? हनीफुद्दीन कौन है यार? कितने मुस्लिम सोल्जर्स वैली में ये मरते हैं यार? ये अपने परमवीर चक्र है यार, ग्रेनेडियर्स के अब्दुल हमीद, कितने हैं यार? मैंने आई हैव वर्कड मुस्लिम सोल्जर्स यार, आगे चलते हैं बचाने के लिए आपको। एंड कभी दगा नहीं करेगा कोई भी, कभी भी नहीं, मैंने नहीं देखा किसी को। वेरी पैट्रियोटिक, बिकम पैट्रियोटिक नॉट नेशनलिस्ट। दिस अ वीडियो ऑफ माइन, मैंने कहा बड़ा कंफ्यूजन है आजकल, नेशनलिज्म पे जोर है, सो आई मेड अ वीडियो, इट्स ऑन माय यूट्यूब चैनल, डिफरेंस बिटवीन पैट्रियोटिज्म एंड नेशनलिज्म। प्लीज वॉच इट, आपकी आंखें खुल जाएंगी, इंक्लूडिंग द टीचर्स। द टीचर्स मस्ट सी इट बिफोर द स्टूडेंट्स। वी डोंट वांट नेशनलिस्ट, वी वांट पैट्रियोट्स, ठीक है? So this I want my young generation to inculcate this. Go back and read महात्मा गांधी, गो बैक एंड रीड जवाहरलाल नेहरू, गो बैक एंड रीड भगत सिंह. आपके तो कॉलेज है यार शहीद भगत सिंह. वाई आई एम एन एथिस्ट. अगर वो आर्टिकल नहीं पढ़ा आपके कॉलेज के सब बच्चों ने, कोई फायदा नहीं. हर क्लास में डिस्कशन करो ना भगत सिंह की आइडियोलॉजी पे, कौन था वो. भगत सिंह नेवर आइडेंटिफाइड हिमसेल्फ विद हिज रिलीजन. अरे भगत सिंह वाज लाइक, हम सब उसी को उसके डिसाइपल समझो. ही वाज एन आइडियलिस्ट. सेम सुखदेव, मदन लाल ढींगरा, उधम सिंह, मंगल पांडे, they are your idols, please. And you belong to a college जो शहीद आजम के नाम पे, यार वो असली शहीद है. 23 साल की उम्र में बंदा इतनी किताबें पढ़ चुका था और लिख चुका था. See his ideology, and have a mix. See what father of the nation did. 1922 he was tried for sedition. You know this Mahatma Gandhi. Same law, जिस पे अभी बच्चे जेल में है कुछ. And the judge said, Mr. Gandhi, what do you have to say? He says, I'm guilty. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi said, I'm guilty. He says, ये तो मेरे लिए बड़ी मुश्किल होगी. If a leader like you says you are guilty of sedition, what do I do with you? उनको जेल में डाल दिया. He says, but I wish somebody fights your case and the government releases you, but I'm bound by law as a judge. Read those. Go back and read those. And please don't follow our news medium is gone. It's gone, trash. Newspapers are still safe in India. They still talk. They still can write. Likho, suno, padho. ठीक है? Go back and read these amazing books. And I can recommend hundreds of books to you. One day I'll come and मौका मिलेगा, कभी आपके कॉलेज आएंगे तो आपसे 1 घंटा बात करेंगे पूरे कॉलेज के सामने. Let us debate these issues. Let us talk to you all, young generation. I'm prepared. मुझे किसी से कोई खौफ नहीं है, कोई भय नहीं है. इतना लाइफ में डेंजर देखा है कश्मीर में, पंजाब में, पुंछ में. So this I want my young generation. That is now second part. Now third part, which I always want to say, कि आप में से बहुत बच्चे हैं जो डिफेंस फोर्सेस में ऑफिसर्स बनना चाहते हैं. बहुत अच्छी बात. कोई एनडीए मिस हो गया कोई बात नहीं, शॉर्ट सर्विस में जाना चाहते. गर्ल्स तो मैं कह रहा हूं, दे आर, अगर इफ दे ऑल वैकेंसीज आर ओपन ना, कि अगर हमने 1000-1200 अफसर बनाने होते हैं साल में, अगर ओपन हो जाए, गर्ल्स विल आउट रैंक ऑफ मेन बॉयज. वो सिचुएशन है आज के दिन. गर्ल्स आर सिंपली आउटस्टैंडिंग. आई एम सो इम्प्रेस्ड when I see girl aspirants and when I see women officers and how they are performing. So if you have in it to you, whether you're a boy or girl, you want to, there are an umpteen number of opportunities to join the defense forces of India. There can't be a better career than this. Okay? But for that, you need to develop a personality. You need to develop communication skills. You need to develop an attitude. Attitude चाहिए वहाँ. And you need to develop general awareness, current affairs, a balanced personality, a social adaptability. So you need to develop those. Physical fitness. I don't, somehow, young generation, मुझे बहुत पसंद है. मैं सबसे बात करता रहता हूँ स्कूल से, कॉलेज से, and I still feel I'm your age many times, but where I see you people lack is in fitness. And we want a young, fit India. ना आगे हमें थोड़ा बीमार देश चाहिए. देखा ना सेकेंड वेव में क्या हुआ है. हमारे नहीं है दम बचाने का लोगों को जब विपदा आती है तो. नहीं है इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर. So what do? Let's remain healthy. Let's remain fit. Let's get out every day, run. We need cycling tracks. We need athletic grounds. We need people to play madly. उम्र कुछ नहीं होती. I can still come and play a match of basketball with your college. ठीक है, ये कोई बात नहीं. So get out, get fit. Boys or girls, push-ups, sit-ups. Do this. It will inspire you. आपकी जब आप स्मार्टफोन्स, आप निकलते नहीं हो जब तक कि आपका स्मार्टफोन चार्ज ना हो, क्योंकि आपको फियर रहता है बैटरी वो होगी तो मैं चैट कैसे करूंगा, वीडियो कैसे देखूंगा. ये नहीं. So that way charge your battery every day by every day getting out for half an hour, 40 minutes. I do this every day. एक भी दिन नहीं. If I miss it somehow, लगता है कि वो जिंदगी में कोई कमी रह गई. So get fit. Get a good attitude. Love the diversity of this country. Go and visit a mosque. जाओ एक मुस्लिम, यार मेरे को तेरे साथ जाना यार फ्राइडे की नमाज. क्या डर रहा है यार, क्या खौफ है. Go to a church. Go to or bring your friends. आओ यार दिवाली पे अब की बार मेरे घर आना. ईद पे जाओ दोस्तों के घरों में. एक यार ये त्योहार इंडिया के त्योहार है. मैं तो I enjoy all festivals because it's a holiday. and you get time to go for run, for swimming, for this, that, cycling चले जाओ, छुट्टी का दिन है, किताब पढ़ लो, कुछ भी कर लो. Develop hobbies, develop interest. Go and travel across India. जाओ ना कारगिल, रह के आओ कारगिल में किसी के घर में 2-3 दिन होम स्टे में, देख के आओ. फिर लद्दाख चले जाओ, फिर तुर्तुक चले जाओ, ऊपर और भी ऊपर पेंगोंग सो लेक चले जाओ, हिमाचल में लाहौल स्पीति. निकले नहीं दिल्ली से तो क्या फायदा है? निकल जाओ, सोलो जाओ, सोलो छोड़ दो ये सब चीजें यहीं पे. I have thousands of people on my Telegram group. If you just search Major General Yashpal, thousands of them. बस यही एक इंस्पिरेशन है कि how do we inculcate leadership qualities in you. I was sick 2.5 months back. I was caught up with COVID. I thought मुझे नहीं होगा because every day I was cycling and running and all. I got तो 14 days में isolation में था. उन 14 दिन में मैंने decide किया अपने life का course. I launched my YouTube channel, which is one of the fastest growing YouTube channels today. Totally dedicated to leadership and motivation. ठीक है, अब पढ़ना जरा उसमें comments और उसमें देखना जरा. Somebody writes one channel with no haters. There are no haters at all. There's no negative comment. हो ही नहीं सकता. हम बात ही नहीं करेंगे ऐसे. हम तो देश को जोड़ने की बात करते हैं. नकली बात तो करेंगे नहीं. So that is there. Same is on Instagram. There's some amazing people there. I didn't know this medium till 2.5 months back. I was oblivious to all this. But now I've entered this field because of Corona. We have to imagine otherwise I would have been live with the call. पूरा दिन लगता मैं आता वहां जाता प्रिंसिपल के चाय पीते फिर आपसे बात करते फिर वापस आते ये वो. But today this is my third session. I did a international school in the morning. I did which college was there? Guru Gobind Singh College, and I refused 2 universities today. कि नहीं यार I have other works also. I can't do justice to this. Yesterday I was live with Vikram Batra's parents and Anuj Nayyar's mother and Vikrant another war his mother. So we were live for 1.5 hours on my YouTube channel. All across the country we had connected people to bring this story to the young people. So lesson of Kargil is safeguard our integrity of nation. And people who shed blood never shed blood for your religion. It is for a cause, for this flag, for Constitution of India, because we are Indians. Okay? We don't belong to any. And if you carry that message, then Kargil Vijay Diwas manaane ka fayda hai. Zingoism se fayda nahi hai. No zingoism. Unmaad nahi chahiye hame logon mein. Na unmaad chahiye, na rhetoric chahiye. Na ye TV channel wale bate rahe hain subah sham, especially Hindi channel to. मैं तो सब बंद कर दी. I only watch Olympics. Nothing else. Or read couple of newspapers and carry out my own analysis of what is happening in the country. So, my dear friends, my young, young friends, this is the message, I wish to share with you today. And I hope, I'll get a chance to meet you someday in actual. But let's take this forward. Let's take this forward, a wonderful life ahead of you. And those who wish to join the defense forces, then I am a guide and mentor for you all. Anytime for the young people. मुझे कोई रेस्ट के लिए टाइम नहीं चाहिए. ये मिशन है लाइफ का. My second innings for your first innings. चलो जय हिंद. Thank you, principal and the staff. I'm prepared to take any questions. If young bright guys just shoot anything under the sun. I will try my best to answer you.
Thank you, sir, for such an enlightening session. Your words have seriously infused a feeling of patriotism, valor, and courage within us. Also, सर शहीद आजम भगत सिंह का नाम सामने आया तो आपके यूनिटी इन डाइवर्सिटी के इस नारे में 4 लाइनें मैं भी जोड़ना चाहूंगा कि मेरा पूरा भारत धर्म स्थान है, मेरी पूजा है, मेरा अरमान है और मेरा राम तो मेरा हिंदुस्तान है.
बहुत खूब, मजा आ गया, बहुत खूब.
So, sir, we are having some questions in the chat box.
Yeah, chat box, so they can chat. You can put it in the chat box. But I like to see boy or girl put down the mic and come on camera and speak. At least connect तो हो ना. Chat में यार chat तो हम दुनिया भर से आप लोग करते रहते हो. If it's possible, I leave it to how you organized it.
Netri?
Sir, the first question is from...
Who's this?
The first question is by Saloni. Saloni, are you here? Hello? Yes, Saloni, can you please ask your question?
Sir, that was a great question. Sir, I had a question that
Where is Saloni? Yeah, okay, yes. Bolo.
am I audible, sir?
Yeah, perfect, perfect.
Yeah. So we have been soft on China as compared to Pakistan. So it can be seen in our army deployment until Galwan Valley incident. India did not consider China as a threat. Sir, do you think we did a major blunder by this thing?
Very good question, Saloni. That is why, talking to young generation is easy one-way communication. But I stick my neck out to answer tough questions. No, we are not soft on China. Certainly not soft on China. But ये हमारा blunder है. We underestimated China. We underestimated Pakistan also. This is a historically, there's something wrong with us as Indians. ठीक है? We like to fight in Panipat. I call it the Panipat syndrome. Even if you see this movie Padmavat, करनी से इन्होंने पिक्चर नहीं बनाने देंगे, नाम चेंज कर दिया फलाने, हमारी राजपूत हिस्ट्री all, finally what do you see? Alauddin Khilji is outside your fort and you want to sing and dance and entice him. You should have fought him 200 kilometers away when he was crossing the Sindh River, the Indus River. So we have to, if you have to fight the enemies, you have to fight them in their ground and not your ground. So that is a philosophical part. But coming to China, yeah, we were surprised again. And there somewhere we need to carry out an introspection, what went wrong, and where we went wrong. And why did this sector, which was lying dormant since 1962, Goli abhi bhi nahi chali, but we lost 20 people, including a commanding officer. What a loss. And more than 90 people badly injured. हाथ पैर टूट गए, बहुत बुरी तरीके से, एक stone age type की लड़ाई हुई है वहां पे, which is very unfortunate. We have not been soft, but yes, somewhere our surveillance and intelligence needs to pull up their socks. We can't have this as a modern dynamic country. We need to have better surveillance resources, better intelligence, and better relationship. We can't have enemies on two sides, Saloni. As a nation, अगर दोनों आपके हाथ कटे हुए हैं, you can't trade, because historically we have been trading with China for thousands of years. Now there's no trade on that land routes. It's only through the sea वो घूम के. ठीक है? With Pakistan, Iran was our neighbor till 15th August 1947. Now imagine if you have to send something to Iran, it has to go Bombay Harbor, वो Tehran, पता नहीं कहाँ जाएगा. Afghanistan was our neighbor till 15th August. Now to send goods to Afghanistan, you have to, I don't know, come through Central Asia, कहाँ से आना पड़ता. So we have lost out our markets. And no country can progress if there's no trade. Without trade, there's no economy. Without economy, there are no jobs. Without jobs, you don't get roads. There are no taxpayers. So understand this. We need armies, but we need trade, commerce, economics to flourish. That's not happening. So we need to find answers to this. I really can't tell you in the short time what we need to do, but yes, I can discuss this subject with you. At least make peace with one of the neighbors. We need to do this urgently. Make peace, find some solution. And humans, यार क्यों नहीं solution हो सकता? China से नहीं होता, पाकिस्तान से तो कर लो कम से कम. Same DNA, same language, and project in India which is strong. अगर दिल्ली में riots करोगे तो आप कैसे बात करोगे वहाँ पे? क्योंकि the language, they pick up all the negatives. Like we pick up all their negatives, they also pick up all this from it. So let's bring peace in our part of the country and then talk from a position of strength and from a position of cooperation. But good question. I'm very impressed. Yeah, next.
That there is a question from Aman Kumar Sinha. Aman, are you in the meet?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So thank you, sir. It was really a great session. So my question is that army modernization is happening, but still we are a decade behind. Our government takes action only when problem is standing on our head. Why are we always reactive and not proactive?
Half the things I've answered, Aman. है ना? तुम्हारी बात बिल्कुल सही है. Our procedures we are still very bureaucratic. 91 में शुक्र करो नरसिम्हा राव प्राइम मिनिस्टर थे. मैं बता रहा हूँ, पढ़ लेना उनके 5 साल में. किताब है इंडिया अनबाउंड, गुरचरण दास की. ठीक है? How India changed. It is here. If you have not read this book, then you will not know how India transformed, because you are not born. I don't blame you. But तुम्हारे parents की life change हुई 1991 में, when Narasimha Rao became Prime Minister of this country. and they changed the economy of this country. How India opened up. So, but still we are very, very bureaucratic. Still British system, still file system. हमारे यार ये कैसे हम, how do we transform our police? How do we transform our IAS? कैसे करेंगे यार? नहीं होते, because जो लोग इस system में बैठे हैं, they are very happy with the system. So we will always react. We will buy 3, 4, 5 rifles and इतना जिंगोइज्म, इतना टीवी पे जैसे राफेल आ गया, अब तो भैया आज तक ने तो कर दिया वॉर, जी और आज तक तो कर चुके हैं कैप्चर 4-5 देश, तो राफेल आ गए भी 6-7 अभी. All nonsense. But I agree with you. We need better reforms. We need R&D here. हमारे में क्या कमी है? We are the most intelligent people in the world. Why our industry? Why can't we manufacture a single engine here? Metallurgy, Ashoka pillar thousands of years old से रस्ट नहीं हुआ. इसका मतलब हमारे पास मेटलर्जी में हम लीडर थे. या तो हम पुष्पक विमान की नॉनसेंस की बात करते हैं जो जिसको कोई प्रूफ नहीं है, रामायण महाभारत की, बट जो मिडिवल एजेस में जो हमारे पास टेक्नोलॉजी, उसमें भी हम इतना पीछे. All our guns have to be imported. You know this. We are very poor in metallurgy, very poor in internal combustion engine. So our R&D has suffered because we are buying from outside. So I agree with you. We need massive reforms. We need young generation. We need a lot of. हमारे इतने IIT कितने बच्चों ने कोई चीज बनाई है? आप बताओ. किस हमारा कोई है हमारे पास एक प्रोडक्ट हमने दिया है पिछले 20 साल में दुनिया को? इंस्टाग्राम, फेसबुक, ट्विटर, IT, हमने वी आर डूइंग मीनियल जॉब. हम कर रहे हैं उनके लिए, सारे सुंदर पिचाई वगैरह बैठे हैं गूगल में, बट हमने बनाया क्या है? कोई इंडियन कुछ क्लेम कर सकता है हमने दुनिया को क्या दिया पिछले 20 साल में? Everything is coming from the West because they've created a society, they've created an environment, an ecosystem where young people can find their calling. वहां गधे भी हैं और सबसे इंटेलिजेंट भी. So anyway, we are improving. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Let me tell you, Aman, we are improving. I think it's a journey. It's a journey of a nation like ours. कोई बात नहीं. I think we are still improving, but we must always be optimist. ठीक है? Always be optimist. Thank you.
So the next question is from Kunal. Kunal, can you please unmute yourself?
Hello, sir. So, I have a question. Sir, as a news coming up that China built a bullet train very near to our border. This obviously have given China a benefit in transporting more soldiers in a war-like situation. So, sir, how come India will tackle the situation, or is India should also do the same according to?
See, we need to talk. We need to find a solution to what has happened in Eastern Ladakh. I really can't talk in an open webinar like this on what we need to do. But I've written on it. There is an interview of mine on the print, if you see, on this. Then India Sentinels, there are a couple of interviews of mine on Ladakh. So what we need to do is, we need to build infrastructure. Our roads are still very narrow. We take very long time to build roads. Road बनता है उसके बाद जब केबल की वो आती है OFC लगाने की, फिर रोड तोड़ते हैं, फिर पुलिया बनाने वाले आते हैं, फिर गैस पाइपलाइन वाले आते हैं. तो we don't have this integrated approach because we are still work in watertight ministries. ऊपर जाके फिर फाइलें ministries में चली आती हैं. However one wants. So this is we are unfortunately this. But China has seen our resolve, like Pakistan. Let me tell you this. China has seen our resolve. They dare not try to do. We are not India of 62. We have changed. Our young people were again charged up. There was almost a chance of war between China. Our tanks were facing each other like this. I've never seen tanks standing next to each other on a line for months together, loaded, fully loaded, in south of Pangong Tso. So they saw this. That is how they crumpled and they agreed to pull back from north of Pangong Tso. And they are neighbors. Finally, you can't change geography. How can we change geography? Please read this Revenge of Geography, a great book. Geography को आप change नहीं करते ना neighbor change कर सकते. Instead of having friendships with people who may never come to your aid, they may talk good English but never come to your aid when you will require. It's better to build good friendships in neighborhood. Take our nations along with us. That is a challenge for a big country, big civilization like India. And why should we fight with China? China is as old a civilization as us. ठीक है, they are growing. एक दूसरी बात ये है ना, we can't catch up with China now. ये भूल जाओ. They have gone. हमारी तो ट्रेनें अभी 70-80 किलोमीटर पे मुश्किल चलती हैं, एक्सीडेंट हो जाते हैं. They have gone at 600 किलोमीटर पर आवर. एक नहीं, सैकड़ों ट्रेन चलती हैं, सैकड़ों. उन्होंने अफ्रीका में ट्रेनें चला दी हैं 200-250 किलोमीटर. अमेरिका से आगे निकल गए ट्रेन्स में. 5G technology, they are ahead of America in niche technology. They are not looking at India. They are looking at 2049 to take over as the superpower in the world. So lone superpower. वो उनका objective है 100 साल पुराना. In fact, the first video I put was on this, on I think 11th or 12th May, when I was improving from my corona. I said, what is a leadership quality required is vision. Vision means leader का 100 साल का vision होना चाहिए. आपका और मेरा 6 महीने 1 साल का चल सकता है या 4 साल का चल सकता है. But national leader must look 100 years ahead. That is what Communist Party of China did in 1949 when they decided 2049 में US को beat करेंगे because US had ठोकोed everyone in Second World War. They were victors and all technology was coming from you. China was poorer than us. China हमसे ज़्यादा गरीब था जब हम आजाद हुए. हमारी GDP उनसे अच्छी थी. Today they are 5 times our economy. ये fact है. देखो आज तक देखोगे जी तो देखोगे तो तुम्हारे दिमाग में बस फितूरी आएगा. But facts, hard facts, you will get it. So China के साथ is better to not compete but cooperate, find a solution but still hold ground. That your forces will do. That you will be rest assured. हम नहीं पीछे हटेंगे. Our Indian forces will not let down the nation. We have never let down the nation. So you can sleep in peace on that part. But we should look at the political leadership and the diplomatic part. We must look at finding solutions. Yeah. Good, very intelligent. I must tell the principal. Very, सब strategy और वो पढ़ रहे हैं आपके बच्चे तो. Very impressed.
Sir, there is one another
They are really
question.
very good. I am very much impressed with many of them. They are really very good.
Very good, Sadhana sir. Excellent.
I would like to have a one-to-one session, number of sessions with you. How far you are from Delhi? You said you are from Haryana.
I am in Gurgaon. I am South City too.
Yes. So you are definitely going to visit our college number of times, and this will help the humanity as well as the education system.
Absolutely. Sir, ये हमने जो ना आप लोगों को I have to strengthen you and also clear a lot of cobwebs in our system today. And you and me, if we can't take on these issues, who will take?
Yes.
Who will address these issues? Because I tell you, elected representatives की तरफ मत देखो. They are not going to show you the light. They are looking at something else. यार, पहचान लो. Don't follow this. Follow true hero. विक्रम बत्रा की किताब होनी चाहिए आपके टेबल पे.
आप दिल से बोलते हैं, दिल से बोल रहे हैं. इस बात के लिए मैं आपकी बहुत 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 तारीफ कर रहा हूँ.
Thank you. I've always been like this. I've always been, entire my life I was like this. I was a debater in school because of, you get this confidence by wide reading. और कोई चारा ही नहीं.
Yes, I can see that, sir. बच्चों पूछो questions, पूछो. I'm very happy you are asking very relevant questions. The China question was really very good.
Yeah, all on, very good.
Jain sir, so my name is Priyan sir. I have a question for you, sir. As we know that Taliban is out of control in Afghanistan, and Afghanistan army chief is going to pay a visit tomorrow, and he can ask for military assistance. So how can India help Afghan forces to eliminate Taliban?
Very good question. Please Google search after this Yash MOR on Afghanistan. I wrote an article about a month and a half back, and what I wrote, I'm not saying I'm a great strategist, but I've been watching this region very closely. Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, ये मेरा favorite playground है. ठीक है? So that time I said, let's open doors to Taliban. Let's not consider them as untouchables. ठीक है? We have to talk to Taliban because we have invested $3 billion in Afghanistan. We are the 5th largest donor. और हम डोनर नहीं, हम तो खुद डोनेशन पे जीने वाले देश रहे हैं बहुत सालों तक. हम किसको डोनेट करेंगे? But we have donated to Afghanistan and we have got some amazing projects, hydroelectric projects, social services में project. We have built hospitals there. We have built roads there. So we have a stake in Afghanistan. And Afghanistan में Indians are loved like anything. I've worked with Afghan army officers. उनके घरों में जब तक सास बहू के सीरियल तोलो लैंग्वेज में नहीं चलते, खाना नहीं बनता था. They're so fascinated with India. Oh, they love Indians. So how can we lose our ground? So let Taliban come. We have to give support. We supported Northern Alliance for years together. We built a hospital for them. Many of their soldiers were getting treated in military hospitals here. And we have given a lot of training to Afghan army. Even now, we have Afghan people training in India in various. So we have to continue that. Humanitarian aid, we have to continue to give. Social schemes, we have to continue. And we have to talk to Taliban. We have to open our doors to Taliban and convince Taliban कि यार पश्तून्स तो हमारे लोग हैं यार. How can we suddenly become so this thing? So थोड़ा सा हमें अपनी सोच बदलनी है. वो देश के अंदर बदलनी है थोड़ी सोच. take our own example of how we handle our Muslims with pride. ये हमारे भाई हैं, ये क्या प्रॉब्लम है? Ghaffar Khan, the frontier Gandhi, we had linkages with Pashtun people, with all these people for ages. इनकी कहानियां हम पढ़ते रहे, काबुली वाला और ये वो. So now is the time to get back to those, Dilip Kumar is from there. All Kapoor Khandan is all come from Northwest frontier. ये सब वहीं के तो हैं ये बॉम्बे में आके they become film stars. So we have connection. ऐसे हम ये अलग लोग नहीं, हमारे जैसे लोग. So we have to go with that. Don't act as a superpower, but act as a friend of Afghanistan. So yes, we will give aid to whoever comes. Afghan chief, that I don't know what the situation is going to be, but we are a major player in Afghanistan, and for that, if good you're asking me these questions, talk to Taliban and have direct linkages with Iran, Russia. ये दोनों बहुत important players हैं. Iran, you can't forget Iran. Iran has a major stake in Afghanistan. So through Iran, we have to have stake with Taliban, and same with Russia, because Central Asian republics are still under Russian influence. Tajikistan, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, इन सब में हमारे बड़े अच्छी हमारी embassies हैं, हमारा वहाँ पे काम है. So we have to continue to remain engaged with Afghanistan. But I'm very happy you are asking me all this.
Yes, sir. Sir, another question, sir. We can see that the diplomacy of China is spineless. It can bend any way. So, sir, the China is actually success in every field, be it foreign diplomacy, influencing it in other countries through that trap. So, sir, how can India counterfeit it, and also what are the steps that we should actually learn from China? Because in many areas we are actually lagging behind because of this only. For example, BRI.
So we can't copy China. We can't copy China. They have gone way ahead of us. We have to find our own solutions. Neither can we copy Israel. Because ये भी मैं बहुत देखा पीछे. Israel Hamas में all Indians, we were all becoming Israel. No, please. We have to find our own solutions. So our solutions have to come from our own home. We have to find Indian solutions. We can't compete with China. Stop competing. We can cooperate with China wherever we can cooperate. And in our sphere, we have to have our sphere very clearly delineated. Indian Ocean region is our sphere. Let's build a stronger navy. Naval forces can reach where armies will take ages to reach. So let's have a stronger, much bigger navy. Have a blue water navy, where from Strait of Hormuz to Strait of Malacca, our ships should be there, and we must dominate the Indian Ocean region. That is where the 70% of world trade flows through. And then within our region, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar, Maldives, Mauritius, Southeast Asian countries, there have been historical linkages with this. Unke saath we have to have good linkages. Quad is a very good option, but we can't sign a treaty. We should never sign a military treaty with any country. So don't take on China. That is why nobody utters China word in spite of what happened in Eastern Ladakh. So let's see, and cultivate R&D in our country, make in India. Slogan ठीक है, but वो हमारे ना sloganing में जा जाता है. Problem ये है, we don't implement our schemes, and we are a soft power country. Our Bollywood does more than what I must tell you this very interesting thing. Priyansh, you asked me a question. तो मैं एक साल के लिए ढाका में था, तो वहां मेरे साथ एक अमेरिकन ऑफिसर भी कोर्स कर रहा था, कैप्टन जैकबसन. और ये अमेरिकन जब कोर्स करने आते हैं, इंडिया में आते हैं, पाकिस्तान जाते हैं, इधर उधर 1-1.5 साल रहते हैं, वो भाषा भी सीख के आते हैं, पूरा कल्चर सीख के आते हैं, उस कंट्री पे MA करके आते हैं. दिस गाय न्यू लॉट अबाउट इंडिया, ये पूरा रीजन. तो एक दिन मुझे कहता है कर्नल यश, why are you buying this T-90 tanks and Sukhois and all? ये मैं 20 साल पुरानी बात कर रहा हूँ. मैंने कहा यार, we need for this. कहता है this job is being done by Ekta Kapoor for you. मैंने कहा what do you mean? कहता है यार, you're catching hearts and minds of people across your borders by your Bollywood industry, your music, your dance. तो मैंने कहा यार, ये तब से मैं बॉलीवुड का बहुत फैन हूँ, because literally, so use our soft power, our music, our cuisine, our culture, our language, our movies. This is capturing the hearts and minds of the world. So encourage करो ना इनको. Don't इनको फिर वो चैनलों पे गाली मत दो बेचारों को यार. एंड प्लस दूसरी चीज क्या है, उनमें और हमारे में एक चीज कॉमन है, फौज और उनके बीच में, या तो फौज सेकुलर है इस कंट्री में काफी हद तक, और दूसरा बॉलीवुड इंडस्ट्री है. इसमें कोई किसी को गाली नहीं देता, जिससे मर्जी शादी करो, बाकी करके दिखा दो आज आप. हमारे घरों में नहीं लोग घुस जाएंगे तो. बट यू मस्ट फाइट दिस फोर्सेस. So let's not look at hard power purely. Let's look at soft power also. Our music and all, and our minds. That needs to go to the world and recognize कि यार ये देश बहुत पुराना country है. So that is one way of reaching out to the world.
Thank you, sir, for such an amazing.
Now, I would request Devang Soni, President NSS SBSC, to address the gathering.
Thank you so much, Netri and Pushpender. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Major General Yashpal Singh MOR sir for taking out time from his busy schedule to grace the session. I would also like to extend my gratitude to our Honorable Principal, Dr. Anil Sardana sir, for coming and blessing us all on this special occasion. Wishing you all a very happy Kargil Vijay Diwas. This wouldn't have been possible without our program officer, Mr. Sandeep Kumar, who has always guided and supported us. Thank you so much, sir. With this, I would now request Sandeep sir to please present the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Devansh. A very good evening to one and all present here. Honorable guest speaker, Major General Yashpal sir, respected Dr. Anil Sardana sir, Principal Syed Bhagat Singh College, our colleagues and all the participants. I extend my gratitude to our honorable guest speaker who has taken time out of his busy schedule to grace this event. Thank you, sir. Your words have infused the feeling of patriotism and courage within us. It has been an absolute honor to listen to you and embrace the true Indian in ourselves. Thank you, sir, for taking all of us to extraordinary journey of Kargil War, full of patriotism and courage. Sir, we are definitely looking forward to further interact with you in our college. We will definitely invite you for offline sessions. I also extend my appreciation to Mr. Devang Soni and his team to organize such a wonderful webinar. A special thanks to our principal, sir, Dr. Anil Sardana, for providing all necessary support to organize this webinar. On the occasion of the 22nd Kargil Vijay Diwas, we remember and pay tributes to our fallen heroes who ensured the territorial integrity of our nation. The nation will always remain indebted for the valor and sacrifice of our brave hearts. Jai Hind. Thank you.
So, if you are done, let's hear the principal. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Really, we are very happy to have you. I'd say, building of a new relationship with a treasure of knowledge and depth of understanding, and this is you are giving it through YouTube channel, fine, but we would like to call you personally, and maybe many more students of different other courses will gain out of it. Your video we have recorded and we will share with the students also, but we would like to have you in person in the college, and then let children feel about a real hero of the war has come, and the real hero of the army has come, and who is talking to them one to one. And we have done it with others also. Our own student is a brigadier there, and we are very proud of him, Neeraj. So there are others also. They had the rank of colonel, captain. But it's always pleasure to meet a war hero as well as army man in the college. You are always welcome.
Thank you one and all. Love you all, young generation of India. ठीक है. So if you have been inspired today, I want to